Honourable Speaker, sir, thank you for allowing me to speak on this budget debate. The Honourable Prime Minister, the Honourable Leader of Opposition, Members of Parliament, audience in the gallery and television viewers throughout Fiji. Budget is always designed as a control mechanism guiding us to smarter use of our finances and resources at our disposal. The 2019-2020 budget is no exception. This budget aims to empower everyone to work smarter through accountability and transparency to achieve optimum results. Honourable Speaker, sir, our country as a whole has enjoyed 10 consecutive years of economic growth, which was only achieved through prudent leadership and proper management of financial resources. At this point in time, it is only proper to thank and acknowledge the hard work of the Minister for Economy and his team for the mammoth task they undertook to prepare such a comprehensive and practical budget that stands to benefit the Fijian community as a whole. The Ministry of Economy, under the commendable leadership of the Minister of Economy, has left no stone unturned to ensure every spending is accounted for and that there is no wastage. Fiji First Government has always been focused to empower its people to make sound judgment. Sound judgment leads to economic and financial freedom, which leads to a nation's growth and prosperity. Mr. Speaker, sir, the tactical switch from direct to indirect taxation creates a broad tax base which improves our revenue without hurting pockets of our ordinary Fijians. By maintaining the minimum income threshold to $30,000 in the formal sector means individuals who earn less than $30,000 do not pay income tax. In cases where both husband and wife are working and their gross income is less than $30,000 each, the same family will not be paying a single dollar in income tax up to $60,000. This means Fijians now have more disposable income at hand for consumption and investment. Mr. Speaker, sir, this budget continues to support early initiatives of the government by providing housing assistance, education assistance, better roads, improved connectivity, and the ability to make a living and contribute to the economy. Mr. Speaker, sir, like many economies in the world, the agricultural sector plays a very important role, not only for export purposes, but also for food security and survival of its citizens. Similarly, our oldest industry, that is sugar industry, continues to play a pivotal role in our economy. Mr. Speaker, sir, today, tens of thousands of Fijians are either directly or indirectly dependent on this industry for their survival. This industry has always been a political playground for the political parties for their own gains at the expense of poor farmers, which brought the sugar industry down to its knees. No government before the Bainimarama and Fiji First Government was genuinely committed to support and revive the sugar industry. Continued capital injection to reduce farmers' costs for past number of years is testimony of the Fiji First Government's commitment to bring back the industry to its feet. Mr. Speaker, sir, in the 2018-2019 budget, Ministry of Sugar Industry was allocated a total budget of $62.3 million, and in 2019-2020 budget, the Ministry of Sugar Industry is allocated $74.4 million. This is an increase of more than $8 million when compared to the 2018-2019 budget allocated to the Ministry of Sugar Industry. Increase in total budget allocation is reconfirmation of Fiji First Government's commitment to revive the sugar industry. Mr. Speaker, say, by allocating $30 million to establish a stabilization fund to assure that sugarcane growers will receive a guaranteed price of $85 per ton has further boosted the confidence of growers in the sugar industry. The 2019-2020 budget further assures that Fiji First Government will continue to provide the ongoing support to the sugarcane growers through the fertilizer, weedicide subsidies, and cane planting grants to encourage growers to boost cane production. Ministry of Sugar Industry will also entice young generation and new farmers into sugar industry with its current comprehensive package to start up the sugarcane farms by meeting cost of acquiring leases, cane contracts, preparing and planting. Now, before was 2 hectares, now 4 hectares of sugarcane through new farmers assistance budget. The 4 million allocation for cane cartage in 2019-2020 budget is assurance to all growers in the Penang mill area that cartage costs from the Penang mill area to Rarawai mill will be met by the government. Mr. Speaker, sir, the high and uncontrolled cartage rates charged to growers continues to affect the poor farmers' net profit from the proceeds of cane. Announcement of regulating of the carting rate by FCCC will ensure that growers are charged fairly for carting of the cane. On the same note, by allocating 5.9 million for FSC to procure trucks will provide competition to further lower the cartage rate. Mr. Speaker, sir, the 10 consecutive years of economic growth created huge employment opportunities through increased investment in different employment sectors. This increase has increased employment, created huge employment opportunities in formal sector, thus creating shortage of labor within the agriculture sector, including sugar industry. To address this shortage of labor issues, the Fijian government has invested in mechanization, which includes providing grants to 31 cooperatives for procurement of harvesters to address the shortage of cane cutters, and 22 cooperatives for procurement of tractors with implements for farmers to work on their farms. The budget allocation of 500,000 for mechanization demonstrates that more and more sugar farms would be mechanized, and this will create a modern sugar industry in the near future. Sidetracking from this, Mr. Speaker, sir, over these 2 days we have heard nothing constructive from the opposition. In fact, their contribution has been hollow like the packet they are carrying around. Banimarama boom cannot be contained in those packets. This boom is for the nation. You need a packet size of this country and a mind of that size to understand this budget. Mr. Speaker, sir, with these words, I wholeheartedly commend the 2019-2020 budget. Thank you.